So you're thinking of moving to Surprise, Arizona? Well, in this video, I'm actually going to take you around, show you some areas of Surprise, but I'm really going to talk to you about the pros and cons of why you might want to consider living here. See if this might be the best move for you and your family. They've got so much going on here. It's a very up and coming, vibrant city. It's still considered kind of a bedroom community. And so I'm going to take you through what I believe are some of the top pros and cons of why you might want to consider living here. And with that being said, we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in a city like Surprise or anywhere else here in the Metro Phoenix area, hey, then be sure and subscribe below and tap that bell for notification. That way you'll be the first to know about our current market here in Phoenix. Hi, my name is Rick with the Phoenix, Arizona Living Team, and we get calls, text messages, and emails from people just like you looking to move to a city like Surprise or anywhere else in the Metro Phoenix area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking of making a move next week, maybe a month from now, or even a year from now, go ahead, you can reach out to us, you can give us a call, you can shoot us a text, you can send us an email. All of our contact information is listed below. We'd be more than happy to help you make that smooth move to Phoenix. All right, the first pro that comes to mind for me for Surprise is their amazing master plan communities. You know, for years, and we did a community out here back in the mid-90s, nearly 30 years ago, and there wasn't a whole lot out here in Surprise. As a matter of fact, we're building up on the northern part of Surprise because where I'm at today, none of this was built. And we're adjacent to Sun City. Of course, that was a premier retirement community in the country, and they had Sun City. They had opened up Sun City West. In about the mid-90s, they were going into Sun City Grand. And so that's what this area was really kind of known for, was more of the retirement area. And then back in 2005 is when this development opened up called Marley Park. And I really believe, at least my opinion, I think it just changed the whole mindset of, you know, the look and feel of this city. All of a sudden it went from retirement, now they brought in more of a family dynamic here in Marley Park with kids. Younger people started moving in, and that kind of was a springboard to start some other great master plans in the area shortly thereafter. And so that's really helped develop Surprise. I think it's been a major factor out here. And matter of fact, I just did a video on one called Sterling Grove. It's more upscale, and that'll be coming out here any day now. I've also done one here about Marley Park. You can go ahead and watch that video. But what I like about Marley Park, and it kind of set the tone for everything, if you can see down through here, they're all tree-lined streets. Now I'm on one of the main sidewalks here. I happen to be adjacent to what is called Founders Park. For Kemper Marley and his wife, this whole area is kind of dedicated to them because they own this land that where Marley Park sits. As a matter of fact, when you go back and watch my video, we've got an interesting story on Kemper Marley that you might want to take a look at if you haven't heard about him before. But they've got a whole grass area out here that they can have entertainment out here. It sits about 1,600 folks. But you can see it's just a long green belt area, goes all the way down. And so that's what makes Marley Park nice. Matter of fact, across the street is the elementary school. One of them here in Marley Park. In front of me up here, you got a couple athletic fields. You got a splash pad there for the kids. I'll kind of show you around a little bit so you can kind of get a feel for it. But I believe this set the tone for what was to come in the future for Surprise. So I'd definitely say master plan communities would be number one. I would say another pro, or the second pro for living here in Surprise, would be affordability. You know, the median home price right now in Surprise is about $430,000. So, for example, you want to live in a development here like Marley Park. If you like this kind of lifestyle and you like the infrastructure and the amenities that come with it, you know, with the community pools, like I said, the splash pad and the athletic fields and the various parks that they have around here. And they've got a whole, you know, just outside of Marley Park, they got a whole aquatic center and a whole nother community park I'll talk to you about here in a minute. But would be, you can still get affordable housing here, for example, here in Marley Park. I mean, they're selling homes in here for 300,000 plus. Number of homes are in the 400,000 range. So it can definitely help you get in, and especially right now with the market the way it is, where interest rates are, there's more flexibility, not only from the lender's point of view as far as getting, getting you good interest rates, but sellers right now are still being a little bit flexible for closing costs, maybe interest rate buy downs. So now's a great time to take advantage of that because our market is starting to settle down, starting to see in the last 60 days or so, 90 days, home prices starting to kind of level off and even had a little bit of an uptick here recently. So it's a great time to take advantage of it. So affordability would definitely be a plus here in the city of Surprise. I tell you what, the wind's picking up. I hope I don't get blown over out here. But another pro for living out here in Surprise, I believe, are the schools. It's part of the Dysart Unified School District, and they've got some really good schools here. They've got from public schools to private schools to charter schools. So you've got an array of different types of schools to send your kids to. And I'll go ahead and I'll put a link down below called niche.com, and you can go do your own research. And you kind of look at the various schools, and it'll show you some of the testing scores and things like that. So you can kind of get a sense for the schools that they have out here. But I'd say definitely schools are top rated out here. All right, so I'm out here in kind of the central hub of Surprise, and that would be the Surprise Community Park. This would be kind of references like their downtown area. They technically don't have a downtown district like so many other cities have, but this is a very popular destination. Over here they've got their town hall set up. They do have a public library. I'm sitting here, this is a 5-acre park. You can see a fishing lake behind me. It's very popular, places to sit down with cabanas and picnic tables. Over here you can see that there's some basketball courts right here, several tennis courts over there, and then a boatload of pickleball courts right next to the tennis courts. Surprise is really known for their pickleball, believe it or not. It's such a popular sport nowadays, and they've got a lot of these courts here in Surprise. Nice playground area for the kids. You can't see it behind me, but I'll show you some pictures of it. But on the other side across the street is Surprise Stadium. If you love Major League Baseball, during the month of March is Cactus League spring training. That happens to be home to the Kansas City Royals and Texas Rangers. Place is really hopping out here that time of year. A lot of people fly in to come see these games. It's got one of the better stadiums in the valley, so very popular destination there. Over here behind me through the basketball courts, they do have an aquatic center that's got slides, it's got lap pools, diving boards. It's a whole setup over there. But this is all set up for the public, and you can come out and take advantage of it. They have several of these type of parks throughout Surprise. They've got about a dozen or so of these. So in addition to what you see inside the master plan communities and all the nice little neighborhood parks, they have these parks outside as well that people can come over and use. And they've got some great things that are going to be coming out in the next few years. I want to read something here that I just recently came across. We're in the year 2023. So over the next 7 years, by the year 2030, the city of Surprise really plans on upscaling their parks throughout the city. And what they're planning for doing is, they say by the year 2030, the goal is to have 1,200 acres of new public parks, which include, one of them would be a 200-acre city park, which will be amazing. That kind of reminds me of Gilbert Regional Park out there in the Southeast Valley. 6 new 25-acre community parks and 847 acres of open space. The estimated cost to do all of this over the next 7 years is about $260 million. So we'll see how that's all allocated and who's held responsible for paying for those parks. But if this all comes together, that'll even enhance Surprise even more and more, because they've just got tons of good parks. They got more coming, and that's definitely one of the pros of living here in Surprise. All right, another popular thing to do out here in Surprise as far as entertainment wise would be golf. Not only do you have obviously the pickleball courts, the tennis courts, golf is such a mecca here in the valley, and it's no different here in Surprise. And we got golf courses throughout Surprise and also in the areas nearby Surprise. So you can definitely go out and have some fun playing golf year round. Okay, one other item I think I'm going to finish this up with, and then we'll talk about a few of the cons and wrap this up, would be shopping. Now, Surprise doesn't have any major malls, indoor malls per se. You got to go outside of Surprise to find those. But they do have a new up and coming, I would say, outdoor mall called Prasada. There's a number of stores in there that are open right now. They're continually building out there. It's a real mecca for all the various stores that you might need on a regular basis, like Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. They've got a Sprouts Farmers Market there, several restaurants. They got a couple fast food places going in. They have a place called Fat Cats, believe it or not, just kind of be a fun little entertainment venue there. But they've got a bowling alley inside. They've got movie theaters in there. They've got arcade games. So a great place to take advantage of in the summertime. And it just opened up. It opened up in March of 2023. So it's been open, about 4 months now. And was recently over there and very popular, very crowded. Of course, in the heat of day in the summertime, it's nice to be indoors. But that's real close by. And they've got several others that are just a few minutes up the street. So definitely some shopping, convenient shopping. But if you need other things, you got to go further out. So that would kind of wrap up the pros. Now let me switch over and talk about just a few of the cons. All right, for some, Surprise might be too far out. You know, it is over in the West Valley. It's in the northwestern part of the Metro Phoenix area. You know, and unless you work in the area, maybe you work from home or you have a reason to stay out in this part of the valley, and if you've got to commute to any parts of Phoenix, maybe Scottsdale, maybe the Southeast Valley, Surprise could just be too far out. You'd have some long commutes. I mean, it's going to take you, if you're a frequent traveler, for example, to get to the airport, you're going to be roughly 45 minutes, give or take, depending on traffic, so you got to factor that in. It's a great place to live if a lot of your lifestyle maybe is in this general vicinity of the West Valley. But, you know, if you're looking for affordable housing, but you work clear on the other side of town, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. There'll be some other options for you. So definitely a factor. And another negative to living in Surprise for some would be there's just not much of a nightlife. I mean, the streets kind of roll up fairly early in the evening. There really isn't any kind of a nightlife, like if you want to go to bars and restaurants and just get out and do those kinds of things. If you like to go out dancing, you're going to have to go to other parts of the valley. You might have to head over to Glendale, to the Westgate district over there. That's near State Farm Stadium. They've got, you know, lots of restaurants and shops and stuff there and some nightlife over there. Cave Creek's got some great places if you like to go country dancing up there in North Scottsdale up there in Cave Creek, or you drive out to Scottsdale. So for the most part, you know, to find any kind of a nightlife, you're probably going to have to drive at least, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes to go somewhere. But if you want to just maybe catch a movie, those kinds of things, or just go out to dinner, yeah, you can find that here in Surprise. But other things, you're going to have to go further out. Okay, and one other negative about living in Surprise is due to the growth that's taken place over the last number of years here in Surprise. You know, if you think back, Surprise was about 30,000 in population in the year 2000. Here we are in 2023. Surprise has nearly 155,000 residents, so it's had a significant jump just in the last 20 years. They've tried to stay up to speed with the infrastructure. Putting in the 303 will help alleviate some of the traffic, but it can get congested. It can get bogged up on some of the surface streets, and especially in the wintertime. You know, with the retirees, a lot of them come to the valley. They live out here in the West Valley, just on the edge of Surprise. So you're going to see more and more traffic in the wintertime. It can get pretty busy. So you just kind of have to be patient. You have to know that they're trying to stay on top of it, but it can be a challenge. You know, and one other challenge with living in Surprise is, I talked earlier about affordability with housing. You can get some homes at some good prices. But because about 76% of the people that live out here own a home, it doesn't really leave a small percentage of those that can't afford to buy a home. And sadly, there's not enough apartments out here. So it does make it challenging for people that want to live out here in Surprise. Maybe they're not in a position to get a home because there's just not enough apartments out here. I'm sure that'll come over time, but you just got to be aware of that. That could be a little bit of a challenge if you're in that situation. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and finish it on this note. To me, I think it's a pro, but for some it could be a con. Is just down the street is Luke Air Force Base, one of the premier flight training schools for our fighter pilots here in the country. So thank you to all our men and women that serve our great country. They will be doing training missions around Surprise throughout the day in spurts. So there will be times when you'll hear the loud noise from those fighter jets flying overhead, but just know it's going to be intermittently throughout the day. I enjoy hearing it. To me, it's freedom, but to some it might be a little bit of a concern, but hey, it is what it is, because we don't live too far from the base out here. All right, so that's going to go ahead and do it for the pros and cons of living out here in Surprise. Let me know what you think. Is there anything I forgot? Anything overlooked? Anything you'd see differently? Hey, if you found it helpful, be sure and like this video and share any comments down below as well. Always appreciate that. And as always, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to tap that bell for notification. And we've got these videos coming out every week, showcasing all over the Metro Phoenix area, and would love to share them with you. So if we can ever help you with your real estate needs, looking to buy or sell a home, look for an investment property, just reach out to us. You can give us a call, you can shoot us a text, you can send us an email. There again, our contact information is listed below, and we'd love to help you make that smooth move to Phoenix. So as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, we hope to show you around town. Bye now.